Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Welcome back to our Gold Mine and Empire gameplay series. I am just in the little Kubota here, and I'm trying to move some lumber into our sawmill. There's got a bunch of stuff that's going on this episode. We're going to be buying ourselves a dozer this episode. Am I able to grab that all at once? Nice. We were going to be buying ourselves a dozer. I've found one for 110, just about 111,000 bucks. And I'm just kind of working with the truckers right now to figure out when they're going to be able to bring it out to us. Since it's December, they figure the roads are going to be good enough and they will bring it out, which is awesome. They'll be able to deliver it right to the farm, or right to the laydown area, rather. Oh, does that go in there? Let's grab this. There we go, push her in. Yeah, they're going to bring it right out to the laydown area here. I think it'll cost us about $3,000 in trucking costs, but you know, it is what it is. We can't haul it. So it's a D5 dozer. Actually, here, let's just go take a look at it real quick here. Yeah, perfect. This D5 right here, we were able to get. It's got 41 hours on it, so not too bad. It'll be pretty good for us. The nice thing is we can get a ripper for this as well. So once the dozer gets here, I'm just going to be kind of moving logs around and getting some stuff put into the sawmill. I want to load some pallets onto our trailer. That's what we're going to be working on until the dozer does eventually get here. Because again, I don't know when the truckers will get out here. They're busy as always. Oh, did I grab her? There we go. They're busy, and we got a lot of work to do anyways. As always. So I'm going to keep moving some lumber into the sawmill. Keep going with that. But the nice thing about that ripper is we're going to be able to start chewing up that riverbank, because like we got a bit of frost in the ground since it is December out here. So even if I was to get an excavator, which I obviously really want to do, it would be some hard digging. It really would be some hard digging over there. And also, we're not super set up just yet to really be getting that pay dirt out of the ground. We don't have a trommel set down. We don't really have a good kind of a setup over here just yet to really refine the pay dirt and get some concentrate out of that. So that's kind of what I'm working on right now, and that's what we're going to work on when the dozer gets here. Where I'm clearing the trees out here is kind of where I want us to set down the trommel and eventually the gold room, so that we can take that concentrate and refine it a little bit further. And also, eventually, I kind of want to build some sort of shops over here, or maybe some sort of storage and kind of a maintenance facility for all of our equipment. Like, I don't want to have everything sit out in all of the elements, all around the year. And as you can see, this ground is just like, it's very rocky, but if we can get that dozer with the ripper, we'll be able to kind of really level this out and make a good pad for everything. I think I can grab all this at once. Oh yeah. And that's going to be our plan. That's what we're going to work on until we're able to find an excavator. I'm still trying to, and who knows? I'm hoping that I can find one for around that 150,000 bucks, because we'll probably be able to find a good size excavator for around that price. But if we keep going, we might actually get to a point where we can afford something a little bit more expensive. I don't know just yet. It all really depends. There is an auction that's coming up in February. So in February, there is an auction. I got to drive a little bit. I'll have to hop in the Dodge, cross the ferry, and it's about a 2-hour drive one way from here. That's kind of the next biggest, quote-unquote, biggest city, but they have auctions out there. Now, it's going to be a lot of farm equipment, but maybe some equipment, maybe some excavators and stuff. I don't know just yet. I'm kind of trying to talk to a few people to see if they can get a sense of what's going to be at that auction. I don't have internet out here, so I can't just go online and look. Maybe I should get some Starlink out here or something. But if I can find out what's going to be there, it might be worth the drive. But 2-hour drive one way to get there, and there's nothing but tractors, would be kind of a bit of a bust. So I'm hoping the auction will be something that works for us, but who knows. Now, another thing with the dozer and ripping up and getting a bunch of gravel kind of made is we can start getting our footings and some of the foundation built for our cabin, which I really want to do, because I'm not gonna lie, sleeping in the old shipping container over there it's not as fun as you think it would be. Maybe it's not really. This isn't the Hilton, which we've said before. So yeah, it'd be nice if we could start framing and doing stuff on that cabin in the springtime, but can't frame till you have a foundation. So You cannot frame till you have a foundation. So if we can get that dozer, again, start clearing this. Let me just jump out here. Kind of clear this pad here. Level this out a bit more. We'll get some gravel from that. I can use the Kubota here. We can scoop a bunch of gravel and start building getting some bags of concrete made. Get the roof plates or the roof tiles made. And yeah, and then we can start working on the footings and all that stuff. And we'll just slowly put lumber into the sawmill once we need it for the planks and beams and all that stuff. So let's just, you know, I'm going to just kind of wait. I'll bring you guys back. I'm going to be loading up this trailer right now. But I'll bring you back as soon as the dozer arrives. Like I said, we're going to have to spend about 111 grand for that dozer. And then about 3 grand trucking costs is what I think they're going to charge me to get it out here. Which, you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. So once the dozer shows up, we'll take a look at her. And hopefully she's not in too rough of shape. But we'll test it out and we'll start ripping up some ground and building the pad. All right. There she is. There's our very first dozer, the old D5. I mean, it's got a little bit of wear and tear on it, but you know, used dozer. We got her for 110 grand. That's like not too bad. 50 or what was it? 41 hours on this thing. Like I said, she probably could use a can of yellow paint and maybe a good oil change, but we'll get her sorted, and I think it'll work just fine for us. I'm pretty excited to have it, and I think it'll be a good. As much as I really wanted an excavator, we're gonna need a dozer. This one popped up. It was a good deal. We're able to get a ripper with it, so we can at least start chewing up that riverbank, and we can start clearing a pad for us. But let's get this thing fired up. Let's check her out. Oh, bad. Try her out a little bit here. Get the hydraulics going just a bit. Can we see the ripper? Nope. Well, sorry, a little bit we can. And no, you can't really see anything. Let's jump out of this unit. There we go. Alright. Well, I think we go test this out. I think we should go over and start tearing up that riverbank a little bit and seeing how this thing goes. Seeing how everything goes. Now, I want to switch everything just a bit to get this. Let's go like that. We're gonna have to really lower this down. Now we'll go ways from the farm over here, from the laydown area, just to see. We'll kind of go to the right where it starts to dip in. I think will be a good spot for us to try her out. Yeah, she's a pretty nice unit in here. Pretty fancy. God, I hope there's a bunch of gold in there. I really hope we find a bunch of gold in there. Alright, let's drop this ripper down. Let's see what kind of damage we can do. Oh, nice. Nice. See if we can get kind of close here. We're really trying to get down to the riverbank so we can chew as much up to that as we can. Nice. Spin around here and see if we can get a little bit more chewed up. She's pulling kind of hard there. I want to roll this thing down into the lake, that's for sure. Nice. That is awesome. Awesome. Now I wonder. Okay, what I want to do next here, as much as I'm going to have really fun doing this, what I want to do, let's raise this up. And let's just park that for 1 second. Let's fire up this Kubota here. Let's go get the bucket put on this. I don't want to go over now. I want to see if we can scoop up some of that gravel and put it into our cement production facility here. We might have to do We might have to dig a little bit more with the ripper to really chew it up. So I'll see if we can grab some of this right now. Drop that there. Let's go get some, let's go see if we can get some bucketfuls of gravel and dump her in. Because like I said, I really want to get the foundation of our cabin built. You know, it's the old, like that shipping container, good lord. It's cold in there. It's not, you know, it's cold in there. And I'd really, really like it if we could start framing. And if we could start framing in the springtime, that would be pretty awesome. The weather will have to cooperate on us. If we get some rain and snow and stuff in the spring, or just in the late winter here, that would kind of suck. But okay, gotta make sure we don't. Okay, scooping up some stones here. Let's just see if we can. It's hard for this little Kubota on this kind of uneven ground. We might have to go through with the dozer and kind of smooth everything out a little bit to make it a bit easier for this unit to grab some gravel. But we got some, sorta. Yeah, see, the ground is just a little bit uneven and it's kind of hard with this little Kubota. See if we can crawl out. Yeah, alright, we made her out. Alright, let's head over and dump this in the production facility. And what we'll have to go do a bunch of work with this dozer. We're gonna have to clear out a bunch of this brush and stuff so we can kind of see what we're doing a little bit better. Which that'll be easy to do. And once we rip the riverbank, I'll just go back over with the blade. We'll kind of smooth it all out, so maybe it's a little bit easier for this little Kubota to grab a few bucketfuls. I don't know exactly how much I'm gonna have to put in here and how much concrete we're gonna have to make for the foundation, but most likely it's gonna be quite a bit. Most likely it is going to be quite a bit. Alright, let's jump back in this unit. Let's see if we can kind of smooth everything out a little bit. Now what we gotta do here, we gotta make sure, we're gonna turn that off. That'll work just fine. See if we can smooth out this texture a bit for our... Oh, she's hard pushing with this D5. We're gonna fall in the lake there. If we're falling in the river, that will not be good. Twist our blade just a little bit. That's not gonna work. Oh, we don't want to fall in. Yeah, the old D5. She's a little underpowered, but it's working. It's working. We'll burn some fuel doing this, but it'll work good for us. Yeah, that's smoothing out. Just had to get our blade twisted just right. Alright, not too bad. Let's go grab the little Kubota and see if it's a bit easier for it to scoop that up now. We'll just really have to go one step at a time with everything. Like, it would be great if we can get, you know, one day we'll get like a big Komatsu front loader. I think we can get a big Komatsu front loader for about 130 grand. So in time we'll get that, but yeah, there's a lot of things that we got to get in time. The main thing will be excavator though now, and probably, you know, a bit of a dump truck, because we're gonna need, it's gonna be too much going back and forth with this little... Is he grabbing that? This little Kubota. Oh yeah, see, that was way easier for him. He grabbed a full scoop, not too bad. I won't be able to go up that bank. Really got to make sure I don't roll this unit into the river. Come on, little guy. All right, off we go. Okay, so that's gonna work better. That's what we'll have to do. I'll have to rip. Plus, we're really close to the riverbank there. Once I get up kind of more on flat ground, we'll be able to build a bit of a pad and kind of dig down and really make a good spot for us to dig out some of that pay dirt. And we're just gonna start kind of on that corner, and we'll work our way back towards where the sea can container is, and hopefully we'll find some. Because this is where I'm gonna want to set the trommel down, like I said, kind of over in this area. All right, let's dump this in. Yeah, some sort of a dump truck will probably be handy, because if we're digging over there with the excavator, it'd be nice to load up a dump truck rather than just going back and forth with, 1,000-liter buckets off this thing. Which, we'll do what we have to do in the beginning. It's whatever really we can afford. But the nice thing is we'll have a good bunch of lumber there that we can sell. However, after I sell that lumber, I would rather just kind of use the sawmill to build lumber for ourselves. And I don't want to just be making money from the sawmill, because the main goal is to get some gold out of the ground, right? Like that's the main goal. All right, let's get some more of this gravel picked up. Oh, it works good, but not great. There we go. Alright. Now that this works good, what I kind of want to do is take the dozer over and just start building. Well, I think what I'm going to do is I'll keep the dozer where we are right now. We're going to go jump back in that. After we dump this concrete in, we'll go in and we'll kind of set our production facility, and we'll get some concrete being made so we can take it over to the cabin and start getting prepped to do the foundation. Then we'll jump in the dozer, and we'll start kind of clearing out a little bit of the brush and stuff there, just to make a bit more of a better working pad for us. And we'll keep ripping that riverbank, and then afterwards I'll come back over and dump some more gravel into this production. Because I'm thinking, we go into our productions. Where are we? Right here. Okay, so we're gonna need all this. We only got 2,000 liters worth of. We need 1,000 liters worth of stone to make 125 blocks. So, you know what? Let's just start with that. Actually, we're gonna we'll start with some bags of cement. We'll activate that, and yeah, we're gonna have to rip up and get a whole bunch of gravel put in there. So let's leave this guy shut down for now. Let's jump back in this unit. What I want us to do is, yeah, we're just gonna kind of, instead of terraform, we'll just get a bit cleared out here. There we go. We'll smooth all this out after. We'll get the grade a little bit better, but first thing I kind of want to just dig down, get some of these trees and this brush kind of cleared away, so it's a little bit easier for us to work, a bit easier for us to see. And we'll go through after and smooth all this out. Barely see in here. Perfect. I'm gonna go back along here, and what we're gonna do is swap this over and see if we can this out a bit for us. try and get her somewhat smooth. A little bit hard pushing with this unit, but have to make do. Alright. Now, what I'm also going to do real quick, this isn't too bad right there, but I want to spin around. I want to pull this ripper across a little bit more, so we're not so close to that riverbank. There we go. Get some more gravel in here. And then we're going to have to do a bunch of trips back and forth with that front loader and really get some gravel put into our production facility, because we're going to need, if 1,000-liter buckets, we're going to need a lot of buckets brought over there, that's for sure. So if I can keep this ground over here flat a little bit better, hopefully it'll be easier for that little front loader. I'm going to bring that ripper up there. Okay, now we got a ton of work that we got to do, an absolute ton of work. Shut that unit down. All right, I'm gonna head over. I'm gonna keep doing some bucketfuls. I'll try and get a bunch filled into this production facility, and then we'll start building the pad for the laydown area. All right, so I was going back and forth from the riverbank over there, pulling the gravel and dumping it in, but I still really want to clear this kind of pad out that I've got, where I've cleared out all the trees. This is where I really want to build a shop kind of area, and maybe our gold room, and potentially the trommel and stuff. I don't know exactly, but I want to kind of clear an area for us, and so I think that's what I'm going to do over here. I'm just going to, because I can get the ripper going, and I want to rip and chew up a bunch of this ground. I kind of already did right here, so I'm just going to pull on over. And I'm going to make a bunch of gravel over here, and then I'm going to go through and I'm going to kind of level and smooth everything out, and I'll take the dozer and I'll kind of push a bunch of this gravel up towards our production facility for the cement factory. And that's the gravel that I'll use just now, rather than going back and forth, because I'll be able to push a bunch with the old D5 here. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I'll just kind of be going around here with the ripper. I want to just kind of bring you back in, because I figured we could do it together. And yeah, I'm just going to kind of go a little bit abstract here for now. Although I do want to cut some more trees out of here. I do kind of want to knock these trees down. Yeah, maybe in due time, that's the thing. I'll knock those trees down, and we'll kind of tuck some stuff away in there. But I definitely want to build a shop for us. I kind of would like 2 shops, because I would like a shop that we got like a nice cement floor and a really good place that we can store some of the equipment. But I need a shop that's going to have a bit of a gravel ground or a dirt floor, because if we're going to walk the equipment in and out of there, I guess I could lay down tires as well if we wanted to walk the equipment in, because we're not going to walk the tracks on nice finished concrete. We just won't do that. It'll chew it up. It'll destroy it. I don't think it's really good for the tracks as well, but it'll chew it up. So if I get some old spare tires, we could walk the equipment in there, and that way we could do some wrenching on it, because eventually something's going to break down. So I'd like to build a decent workshop for us at some point. This is all just kind of in the future. Once the gold mine is going and we're actually making some good money, then we'll go through and we'll start spending some cash, and we'll build us a nice shop with a good workbench and stuff in there. I don't know if we can get one with an overhead crane, but that would be awesome if we could get something with like an overhead crane. I missed a little spot there, but that's what I'm going to do right now. We're going to go through. I'm going to get a bunch of this ground ripped up, and then we'll go through with this dozer, and we'll start chewing it up, leveling it out, pushing all this gravel towards the production facility, and then yeah, hopefully, like I said, we can get some of the footings and stuff built and the foundation done for our cabin. All right, we are back here. I got like a bit of this plowed out, but I mean, it's gonna take a bit to get all this gravel kind of pushed up and plowed, and yeah, it's gonna be a bunch of work. But we've got a bunch sitting here right now, which is awesome, and I'll be able to just kind of stack a bunch of this into our production facility, which is great. Hopefully, I can start making some good cement because I really want to get that cabin. Yeah, I really want to get that cabin going. Obviously, obviously. And yeah, I think I'm going to go to that auction in February. That's going to be the main plan. Hopefully we can get something good there. I mean, it is far away, so one thing that kind of sucks with that is even if we did buy something, it's going to be a big trucking cost to get it back here out to kind of the to the mine slash laydown area. But I mean, it is what it is. If we can get a good deal on an excavator, that would be great. I mean, it would really be great if we could get, kind of depends. By the time February comes, we should be able to have done some decent logging and hopefully have some money saved up that you never know. Like, we might be able to get an excavator and a dump truck, which would be just awesome. If we could get a dump truck, that would be really, really great. But I mean, there's so much we need. The gold trommel is going to cost us about 45 grand. I've already priced that out, so we got to have that money kind of sitting at the same point when we get an excavator, sort of. Now, if we didn't, but a good excavator came up, that would still be great, and we would get it. And what we could do is dig through and start just kind of stockpiling the pay dirt till we could afford the trommel and stuff. So, you know, the next main goal obviously is excavator. That's just what we need. And but it's great that we got a dozer. It's great that we got a dozer because now we're able to do this. We ripped up all this stone, all this gravel, which is awesome. We can feed it into our production, and yeah, and then get the cabin going at some point. Because now if we can get the foundation going, I can start working on the framing in the springtime, and we can cut down some more trees and kind of get the sawmill going, get the beams, get our studs, get the floor joists. It's like going to be a log cabin, but we'll still have to do, I'm still going to do like 2x4 or 2x6 interior frame and walls, and we'll have to do a bunch of trusses and stuff for the ceiling, or for the roof rather. So yeah, we'll need a bunch of lumber for that, but luckily we got more lumber than we know what to do with. So I'm just going to keep going here. I'm going to keep filling up the production facility, try and get to some cement bags and stuff going. I might pull a couple over to the cabin, just depends how much time I got. But the next thing that we're going to do is in January, I'm going to take a load of lumber in, and we'll sell it off and hopefully have another good chunk of cash. I mean, we're down to 70 grand, but I really think we got to have about 150 to 200 grand sitting when we go to this auction, because I don't know what we're going to, you know, we could get an excavator for 100 grand, or we could have to overpay and get one for 180. Like, I don't really know what's going to happen. I want to stick to somewhat of a budget, but also, yeah, man, if we could get a dump truck, that would be awesome. So the more money that we can have sitting for that, the better. Problem is I kind of chewed up a bunch of ground here, so getting logs out of there might be a bit difficult. But we have a bunch kind of over towards the cabin and stuff that we can still pull out, and I can put in the production facility. So I'm not too worried about that. But yeah, I'm just gonna keep going here, keep getting a bunch more bucketfuls in till I get sick of doing this. And once we're back in January and we got the trailer loaded up, we'll head off, go to the warehouse, sell off some lumber, and get ready to go to that auction. Alrighty, we are beginning of January here. We are just on our way up to the warehouse with this load of lumber. There was a few more that popped through, a couple more pallets, but to be honest, it was just like one pallet extra of each. I think I might just save it and kind of go put it over by the cabin. We did make about a pallet full of cement bags, so that's, I'm pretty sure it's 3,000 liters on one of those pallets. We can double check once we're back kind of at the laydown area there, but I think I need about 8,500 liters of cement bags for the foundation of that cabin. I'm pretty sure. It's either 8,000 or 8,500, so we're gonna have to make a few more. I make about 3,000 per month, just with that little production facility. That's kind of all I can kick out, which is, you know, it is what it is. But like I said, if we can do the foundation in the spring, I'd like to start framing in the spring, but yeah, we'll do the foundation, and off we go. But I don't know how much money we're going to get for all of this. Whoa. Good lord. It's a little heavy for this. I mean, it's just a 3/4 ton. She's a 99. Like, this is a good truck. Don't get me wrong. A 99 Dodge. This is a good truck, but it is just a 3/4 ton. I should probably go a little bit slower when we're hauling this. Let's go get the ferry started here. Now, I did a lot. You know, while we're on the ferry, this is a little bit unrealistic, but I'm just going to rip back over to the farm so I can, or up to the laydown. I keep wanting to call it the farm, good God. You can see how much I cleared here. Like, I kept clearing and just kind of making a big pile right here. It's kind of hard to see right now, but I just been going back and forth. I almost burnt a full tank of fuel in the dozer, so we're going to have to fuel that up once we get back. Our tidy tank is full in here, though. This thing only holds 318 liters. Now that I can't remember, actually. Let's go take a look. See what come through for sale. D6 is for sale. Hey, now, that would have been good. No, we already got the D5. We already got the D5. That's not a bad deal, though, for a D6. Not too bad at all. We got a breaker, little side-by-side there. Let's jump in the wagon here and get off this ferry. I can't remember how much fuel that dozer holds. Was it 800 liters? Let's check real quick here before I get going. I'm going to think about this the whole way up there. Let's just go check real quick. Where's 800 liters? Yeah, okay. All right. Side quest, eh? Side quest. Yeah, so I'll have to put a couple of slip tanks full to fill that dozer up, which is fine because yeah, the slip tank holds 380 liters, so not too bad. 2 of them will probably get it full because it's not quite empty. But I'm hoping we get a good chunk of change for this. I'm hoping we can get, you know, around maybe 200 grand for all this lumber. I don't really know exactly, but we'll head up to the warehouse and we'll see. Maybe what I'll do is I'll just meet you up there, save you this drive, and we'll find out exactly what we're getting for this haul. Alright, I'm just pulling in here with the load of lumber. So we got just about 71,000 bucks. This is probably going to kind of go through, and it's not going to give it to us all at once. So, at least I don't think it will. Oh, I got to go like this. 182, 200,000. Yeah, about 200 and what, 6,000? We were at 71, so yeah, 277, about 206,000. Not too bad. That's not too bad at all. We can't complain about that, but we gotta kind of probably do some more logging, because the trommel's gonna cost us 45. If a hoe or a new excavator costs us around 100 to 150 grand, you know, that's 200 gone. That leaves us with 77. I don't know if that's enough to buy a dump truck. It would be nice. It would be nice, but as Michael Scott said, you know what else would be nice? Winning the lottery. Oh my god! What would be nice is maybe we might have to buy a 1-ton. Good lord. If I jackknife this one more time, oof. We might have to kind of do something. Yeah, this truck might just not be enough. You know what? That's okay though. In the future, I definitely want to get a service truck for the mine. Like, we're gonna have to get a truck that I have a few tools with me in a toolbox so that we can do some maintenance on the vehicles and the equipment, but it's not going to be great. We're going to have to get something a little more extensive, and I want to get some sort of a service truck with a welder on it so that we can cork our equipment, because we're probably going to have to. I mean, we didn't really get that much snow this year, actually, which is great. I figured we would have got hit with more snow, but if we do get a bad year with a bad winter and a whole bunch of snow comes in, I mean, we could still get snow in February as well. Look at this truck. This truck just cannot handle this trailer whatsoever. So maybe what I'll do is, because we can get dump trucks, this could be an option too. We can get a dump truck that has a hitch on it, and we could pull a trailer with it, and it would be a bumper pull. So maybe what I'll do is I'll talk to the guys at the warehouse and see if we can get a bumper pull trailer that's maybe not like a 50-foot long one, because yeah, this is just a recipe for disaster. We're gonna wreck this truck and everything, which we don't want to do. But we'll see if we can get a dump truck and maybe trade this trailer in for a bumper pull trailer that then we could pull with the dump truck. Because if we could get, yeah, I don't know. I'm thinking a lot right now, but a decent, if we had a bumper pull trailer we could use with this, and we could use it with the dump truck if needed. But also in the future we could get a lowboy. for that dump truck, and we could probably pull around the excavator and, you know, and have the dump truck with us, which could be a good option. Yeah, that's gonna drop down there. Off we go. Okay, heading back up to the farm. I'll meet you guys there, and we'll kind of start working on. I'll drag some of that lumber over to the cabin, and we'll also drag some cement bags over there and start getting kind of prepped for the foundation. All right, we're just back up here, kind of at the laydown area. I'm just getting pulled up by this dozer. See if we can back up. And I'm just gonna dump some diesel in there. I'll fill at least one. Yeah, I'll throw one slip tank full in. And actually, you know, we'll spin around. We'll go fill this up from the tanks, and we'll try and get that dozer right full, because we're gonna have to do a whole bunch more to keep clearing off that area. It's gonna take some time. I'm just gonna kind of slowly pick away at it. But it works pretty good because I just like keep piling it right at the end there, and then when I jump in the front loader, I'm able to just scoop and dump right into the production facility pretty easily. So it's not too bad. It's just a little bit time consuming, but we got time to slowly pick away at it. I made a pretty good dent in it. Yeah, I'll just kind of slowly keep going on it. So let's dump this in here. Now it shouldn't take this whole tank, I don't think. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so the dozer is full of fuel. How's the loader? Since we're doing some fueling, can we dump some fuel into this loader? Oh yeah, this thing's basically full of fuel. Okay, we're good to go. Let's just come over here. I'm gonna fuel this. Get the slip tank back full so that we got it. And I'll park the Dodge. Right by the house here. Alright, let's jump in this unit. And what I'm going to do is I'll kick this bucket off just for right now. And I just like using this attachment thing. I mean, we could use the forks, but this strap attachment is just the cat's pajamas. Alright, so let's jump out here right before we do this. So we're going to check. 400 kilograms, yeah, 3,000 liters per pallet. So we got 10,000 liters of stone in there. I worked through about, I think, 13,000 liters in the 1 month. So as long as I got about that much in there, that'll be, you know, that should be pretty good. Let me just jump out of this view. And yeah, I'll slowly bring over this lumber, or maybe we'll just leave it sitting there. We still got to get some more trees put in there. What I kind of want to do, I just got to get a bit of a hole dug through that gravel pile that I put up, so that I can kind of pull through with some of the trees. I can come through on the outside, but I want to kind of get almost like just a game trail through there, so that I can get some trees back to the production facility. It would be nice to, I'm going to probably do some more trees. I don't know if we'll be able to take them off to sell. Yeah, it's kind of hard to tell right now. I'd like to go to the auction with around 300K, but I don't know if I'll have time. I don't know if I'll have time to take a load of lumber to the warehouse, bring the trailer back, drop it off, and then head to the auction. I'm not too sure I'll have enough time to do all that right at the beginning of February. Maybe, but probably not. So I think we just go with the money that we have, and hope. That's all that we can do. Hope something good comes through. And who knows, maybe we'll let's just drop that there. Maybe we'll get a good deal. You never know. There's like equipment keep coming through on sale at the warehouse as well. Like there's that D6 in there, so just gotta keep our eyes peeled. All right, I'm gonna keep working here. I'm gonna load up this production facility. I'm just gonna take some time here, take a couple scoops through, and keep filling this up. I think we need 8,000 liters. We should have checked when we were over at the cabin, but I was kind of a little bit sidetracked thinking about that D6. But I think we need about 8,000 liters of cement. So it'll take a couple months, but I want to just make sure this thing is right full. And I'm going to keep kind of picking away at this laydown area, as we got a lot of gravel to clear off. But yeah, made a pretty good dent, so we'll just keep plugging away at it. And I think what we'll do is we'll end this episode there. I'll bring you guys back at the beginning of February. once I'm getting ready to head up to the auction. We'll probably be doing a little bit of plowing and stuff with the dozer at the beginning of next episode, just in the morning until I'm kind of waiting for daylight to come up a bit, and then off to the auction I go. So thank you guys so much for watching this episode. Hopefully you stick with me on this series. I really can't wait till we get an excavator. That is like, we'll be getting one. You know what? I think we'll get one next episode regardless. Even if I can't find something at the auction, what we'll do is we'll go bite the bullet on a brand new one that I think we could get a brand new one for about 150 grand. So we'll wait and see. But the goal would be if we could get a excavator at a decent price and potentially a dump truck. And then we can really start digging that ground up. And even if we don't got the cash right away, we'll put that pay dirt aside and we'll wait. We'll get our trommel set down. I'll clear this area out more so we have a spot for the trommel, and then we'll start getting some. Then we'll start really gold mining, and I can't wait for that. So all that and more next episode and the following one. Thank you guys so much. Thank you to everyone who's hit that like, hit that sub button. I appreciate it a lot. Let me know in the comment section below if you got any tips and tricks when it comes to gold mining. I would appreciate it. And yeah, I hope you guys have a good afternoon, morning, evening, whenever it is that you're watching this, and I'll see you guys on the next episode. Thank you very much.